In this video, I'm showing the replacement for this trunk switch. This is a Volvo S60 trunk switch and bulb lights, plate lights. All these three items are on the same wires. And I found my car was getting low battery in the morning after sitting overnight. So the battery in the morning will be sitting at about 12.1 volts, which is very much discharged. And I found out that the problem was these bulb sockets inside the plate lighting got water inside and got corroded, and also the bulbs well burnt, both of them, but there was corrosion inside the sockets that would create a short and drain the battery overnight. And I believe this is a very common issue with these cars. So check your battery if you are 8-10 years old into your car. So the whole video is actually just showing this replacement and the parts number and stuff like this.
Okay, about to replace these whole things. So lights, switch for the trunk. That's a Xenon. It's not the V70, it's the 670, and the other light. All these three guys are together. That's how the wire loom looks like. My understanding is that the short happens in there inside the bulb socket. If you remove the bulb, you will notice there's corrosion in there. There is a seal around, but I don't think it's that efficient, so I'll just get some maybe outdoor silicone or RTV. I'll just put some more in there to seal properly. Check the cables. Notice they are just not the same length. This is one that's longer, this one is longer, this one is shorter, so remember which way they go when you remove them. This switch should be working properly, shouldn't be having problem. There is a rubber seal, you need to undo it from there. And the connector is the lower, yeah, the lower one. You have also the connector for this lock, but the lock is completely different. This is the connector for the assembly, so maybe undo this rubber trim first, push it inside, then I'll go for the screws. Keep them carefully, don't drop them, they are tiny, so you don't lose them. 4 of them with the Torx. I have to mention that I went to the scrapyard to grab this one, and most of the cars, the bulbs are burnt. So I believe this is a very common issue. So check your car, see the lights are still on. But even if you replace the bulbs, it may have already a short in there. So check your battery in the morning before starting the car, see what the voltage is. I believe this is a very common issue on most, if not all, the S60, maybe even V72. One note is that when you try to remove this guy from there, Volvo put some, it's like a patch, has a glue sticking patch. It's like a, what is the name of, it's like some sort of duct tape. So in some places you still have the glue here. And there's both wires on some years may be glued, and that's really tough to undo that patch. They are secured with a patch, so usually you may just grab a screwdriver, place your finger, try to detach it with the patch, and then work it out with a screwdriver, and don't put it back in place. You don't need that. Let's go for the lights here. Are not exactly easy to undo from there. We'll use something like a screwdriver, something to pull it a little bit from there. It may seem like it's stuck in there, but it's not actually. Let's use some butter knife. So lift it on the screw side and then try to pull it like this. It has a clip, it's engaging a clip in there, so try to pull it. I'm using like a pliers to pull it from there, just like that. But yours might come out much harder than this. A few on the scrapyard were really stuck in there, really hard to remove, which is totally different than how easy it is now. And for the lock itself, just pull it like this, and sometimes you may find you cannot pull it more. That's because the wire is like it has a dent in there, it's a little bit stuck, so detach first the rubber in there. Make sure it's detached and push it from inside, push it a little bit to move, just to feel it moving. And you may want to work a little bit with the wire in there, but make sure that's detached before you pull this guy out. Mine comes out because I think I already removed it, but it's still hard to remove from there, just like that. It's a bit tricky, but and again, I'm not sure if my wire is glued. So it looks like it's, yeah, I think I have that patch in there somewhere. Sometimes it's just that the wire is catching somewhere in there. It's a bit tricky. Let me try that. For some reason it looks like it's stuck in there. So it definitely is a little bit of work. Annoying because you cannot see anything in there. So let me put the camera down and try to work it out. Okay, so my wire was really stuck in there, in between this, it was like inside the channel, something really stuck in there, so I had to hold it there a little bit. Yeah, there's a channel in there, so it's really pushed inside. And on this other side there was a glue, attached with glue, this one, that's the stuff I was talking about. So let's pull it from there. And I guess installing is the reverse. I believe it's better to install it without the bolts so you don't break them. Any chance. Definitely there's some fight with this wire, definitely. And it's not a place you like to insert your fingers, it's cutting edge all around, it's metal. Touch it, wire got stuck in there, it's quite a mess. But this is the result. I think, yeah, this is mine. I will keep this, guys, and I'm going to install this tank here. Time to put this back in place. I did use some RTV to seal this better. Notice these things, plastic just get damaged by the heat, and cracks, and the locks don't keep this tight in place, and that's why I'm using some you may use outdoor silicones, something like this, but make sure you don't use glue because you may want to remove them later on. And same went for this guy, so I did remove this seal, it's a rubber seal right there. I just undo this, and I went with some RTV all around at the bottom here. This is just a vent for the heat, you don't need to plug it. I'm putting all this back in place. Lights work. By the way, the whole wire and the switch here, it's about 120 bucks. I'll put the link in the video description. I put the part number for it. So now I'm parking the car overnight, it's the evening. Just measuring the battery. I just closed the car fully and just opened the trunk. The battery at this point it's fully charged, 12.7. That's a fully charged battery, 100%. And tomorrow morning I'm going to open just the trunk again and see what the voltage will be at that point. Okay, so it's morning now. Let's open the trunk. I'll open the trunk with this. I'm not opening the car. Just push it twice. So basically the idea is just to use the knob so you don't activate the car. So the battery, if you activate the car, open the door or something, the voltage will be different, so you don't want that. And also you notice I don't have the side lights inside the trunk. I did remove them because they will lit up and change the voltage. So I really want the voltage to be with everything inside the car switched off. That's the real voltage. Let's see how it goes. So yesterday night it was 12.7 and not bad. 65, that's pretty fine. So basically it didn't drop. It's just about the same as yesterday, so there's no more parasitic drain. Fix it. Great. So yeah, replace that loom wire. The bulbs, the sockets get corroded and will short inside, and you will drain your batteries. Good luck.
Forgot to mention that with the old part that was shorted in the morning, I will get the battery around 12.1, 12.15. So that means the battery was almost discharged to about 30% remaining or so. That's how much current it will take in one night, those wires that were shorted. On my computer now, so this is the part actually. It's only about $100 on Tasca. I think this is North America. That's the part number. If you rather want to go there, I know there's some Chinese LEDs that fit for these cars. You may try this, but the way this works, if I understand well, they plugged into the socket and the socket is shorted. So maybe try this, but you need to cut. I would rather cut the wires. I know one socket has 3 wires instead of 2, so I'm not sure how you connect these wires, but I don't know how to adapt this. Maybe I would try to cut the wires and weld the wires to the actual wiring from the car, so you just basically bypass the sockets. The bulbs that go in there, I wrote on the message here, it looks like this, W, 5W, and it's a 5-watt one, and you can also use a T10. If you rather like to use a LED bulb, looks like this, that's a T10. This is the actual bulb here. The one came from the car, and it's of course is burnt. And my camera is not zooming now, but that's a T10 LED bulb which I got from eBay. I'm not sure if the light it's powerful enough, but I'm just saying if you want to try these things. Finally, the zoom come in. So that's the actual bulb. So that's pretty much it. It totally fixed the problem. No more voltage drain. I strongly recommend, because this is, I believe, a very common problem on all these cars. I believe most of them had this issue in a more or less advanced stage. So maybe your bulbs are not yet burnt, maybe the sockets are not yet shorted, but it will happen. So better just keep an eye on the battery voltage, because it will just it's complicating this diagnosis thing. You may think it's a battery, it's too old, or maybe the alternator, or maybe something, and you were just having a short somewhere meanwhile. Wanted to say also one of the other possibilities when you have a short inside the car, from what I read on forums, would be the door modules, you know, where the switches on the doors are. When you open the door, the rain may just pour over the switches and may short them. That's a total different thing, but maybe that may happen as well. But on this case, on this situation on my car, actually it was those sockets from this thing here.